Hey there everyone, this is Samrangi Roy and I'm back again with another video. But I'm not alone today. Joining me is Shruti from Fandom Newbie. A lot of you might know her already. She's a very famous booktuber and I'm really lucky that she even agreed to join me on a collab. Today we are going to be reviewing not one but two books by Jhumpa Lahiri, two collections of short stories written by our very own Jhumpa Lahiri, which we know you're definitely going to find interesting. So I'm going to leave the stage to Shruti for a while.
Hi guys, this is Shruti from the channel Fandom Newbie. So I have a booktube channel here on YouTube where I talk about books, I do book reviews, I give book recommendations, and I basically just talk about everything bookish. As you guys can see, I love reading books and I love spreading the joy and love for reading with anyone who engages and connects with me through my channel. So yeah, today both Samrangi and I are going to be recommending our favorite short stories collection book. So basically books which are a collection of short stories. We're going to be recommending them to you guys because both of us feel that a collection of short stories is a really fun and accessible way for beginner readers to start their reading journey.
But before we begin the video, do take a moment to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it already, and definitely hit the notification bell so that you do not miss out on any of my latest uploads.
The book that I want to recommend is Unaccustomed Earth by Jhumpa Lahiri. Now, this book is a collection of 5 short stories and 1 novella, which is kind of mushed together to form this book. All of the short stories as well as the novella talk about the lives of Indian immigrant families who have moved to the US. Now, each story really captures the struggles of these people as they try to kind of fit into American society, and also how the family dynamics and relationship dynamics between the people kind of changes because of this huge move that they've made in their lives of moving from India to the US. And it's written in such a beautiful way. What I love about Jhumpa Lahiri's writing is that it is very descriptive, but it is also very simple to understand. All of the stories in this book are contemporary fiction and they are actually quite relatable. So I think that this is a really nice place for beginners who want to kind of start their reading journey. This is a really good place to start.
And the book that I am going to be reviewing today is The Interpreter of Maladies by Jhumpa Lahiri, Stories of Bengal, Boston and Beyond. The Interpreter of Maladies was first published in 1999 in USA. And this book is the #1 international bestseller. And Jhumpa Lahiri even won the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction in the year 2000. This short story collection is a collection of 9 stories. But before I move on to my most favorite stories from this collection, I'm just going to read out what Amy Tan has to say about Jhumpa Lahiri. Jhumpa Lahiri is the kind of writer who makes you want to grab the next person you see and say, read this. And that's precisely what I'm doing in this video. You'll really need to read this. She is a dazzling storyteller with a distinctive voice, an eye for nuance and an ear for irony. She is one of the finest short story writers I've read. And really, she is one of the finest short story writers at least I have ever read. This collection is mainly about Indian people who are in conflict between the set of strict traditions they have inherited from their family members, from their ancestors, and the new world that they have to encounter in their day-to-day existence. And what I love most about Jhumpa Lahiri is her attention to detail. I absolutely love how she digs out these minute details from everyday life which might completely escape our notice, and with such deft strokes she weaves them into the framework of each and every single of her narratives, whether it's a novel like Namesake or whether it's just a short story like Sexy or The Real Darwan. And her detailed observations are laced with humor and irony, and that is probably the best thing that I like about her stories. This book is totally going to be worth your time and money if you ever decide to buy this.
There are 3 stories which I absolutely loved in this book and that I want to talk about. The first one is Unaccustomed Earth, which is the title of this book. This story talks about an estranged relationship between a daughter and her father. So in this entire family dynamic, basically the daughter, and her name is Ruma, so she has always been really close to her mother, but her mother passes away and she's never really had a very strong connection with her father. But one day when the father comes to visit her and her husband and and kind of stays with them for a couple of days. She tries to kind of reconcile with her father, and she tries to build that relationship with her father, and it's tough on her because she's always had a very estranged relationship with him. So this story just talks about all of the emotions that Ruma feels in trying to reconnect with her father. It talks about all of the different struggles that she's faced with, being close to her mother and then losing her mother and not really having a great relationship with the only living parent that she has. And it captures those nuances and those emotions so well, and it's just a very, very emotional and beautiful story.
So my most favorite story in this entire collection is Interpreter of Maladies. This is a story about Mr. Kapasi, who is a tour guide and also an interpreter in a doctor's chamber. So he basically acts as a link between the patients and the doctor, and his other profession is that of a tour guide. So the other characters in the story, Mr. and Mrs. Das, who live in the US and who have just come to India on a visit, and they have not come alone. Obviously, they have come with their 3 kids. And they have hired Mr. Kapasi to be their tour guide. They want to visit the Sun Temple. Now this entire story is about how Mr. Kapasi looks at this entire family, the observation that he makes, and how for even a brief period of time, Mr. Kapasi felt closely drawn to Mrs. Das because both of them shared the same malady, and that is estranged spouses, conflicts in their relationships. So that is how they come close together, they talk to each other, and they share this very intimate bond, a very intimate emotional bond. They almost feel like they could partake in each other's maladies. And Mr. Kapasi, obviously, he looks at Mr. Das, he looks at how he is dealing with his children. He also looks at Mrs. Das, who is dealing with her children in a very different way, and he concludes that Mr. and Mrs. Das were more like siblings to their kids rather than parents. And while the others are in the Sun Temple, while Mr. Das and the 3 kids, they are in the Sun Temple, what Mrs. Das does is that she stays back in the car talking to Mr. Kapasi, who they have hired to be their tour guide. And that is when she opens up a lot about her relationship to Mr. Kapasi, even revealing details that her own husband didn't know about. So that's basically what the story is about. Now, Jhumpa Lahiri's stories, they are not about a distinct beginning and a middle and an end, but it's about reality. It's about the lived everyday reality. The characters hit very close to heart, because you can almost recognize yourself in them. You can see yourself reflected in these characters. These characters are so damn familiar. These characters are so real that you feel extremely close to them. It's as if you are being made privy to their confessions, to their lives.
The next story that I want to talk about is The Choice of Accommodation, and this one features a married couple. So the main character of the story is a man named Amit, who is Indian American, and he's married to a white woman whose name is Megan. And they've been married for a few years, and it seems as if a little bit of the spice from their marriage is kind of started to fizzle out. And this really talks about how these 2 characters kind of rekindle their love and how they kind of come to terms with what's happening in their relationship when they go and attend a long lost friend's wedding or something like that. So they basically meet a lot of people from their past, and in doing this they kind of come to terms with what is happening in their relationship and how they kind of rekindle that love and that sort of spark in their kind of dying relationship. And again, it's written in a very, very beautiful way.
My second most favorite story in this collection is The Real Darwan. Now, ICSC students, you definitely know this story because we had it in our ICSC back in 2015. It's the story about a doorkeeper, a 64-year-old woman, Burima, the real Darwan, and how she lives in an apartment in Kolkata. She does not live in the apartment per se. She occupies a small space in the ground floor of the apartment, not even a room, but just the space under the staircase. That is where she lives, that is where she sleeps. And what she does every day is that she sweeps the whole staircase extremely clean. She chases off with her broom anyone who might have the intention of causing trouble in the neighborhood, and people in that apartment, they feel very comforted, they feel very safe with Burima's presence in all their lives. Some of the major themes of this story is rumor, gossip, the partition. The partition is a very important theme because the Burima complains about the partition and the ruin it has caused to her family and her identity throughout the story. When the story opens, we see Burima talking about how lavishly she used to live in her own home country, and that she was the wife of a rich landowner. She had so many servants working under her, and the different kinds of food that she would have throughout the day. And most of the inhabitants of the flat would think that maybe she's lying, or maybe she's gone kind of crazy because of the impact that the partition has had on her emotionally. Nobody really questions her. Nobody really questions the legitimacy of the tales that she tells, but at the same time, they don't believe her either. This is an extremely emotional story. This will tug at your heartstrings. Even if you don't want to read The Interpreter of Maladies as a collection, I would request you to at least read the story The Real Darwan.
And the third story that I want to talk about is the novella which is there at the end of this book, which is called Hema and Kaushik, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, correct. Hema and Kaushik. And this is also essentially a love story, and it follows the lives of Hema and Kaushik from when they are teenagers, like when they are 13 or 14 years old, until they become adults, and it just follows the story of their life and how they fall in love and just what happens in their love story. And it's quite a short novella. I think it's only about 100 pages, but it really captures all of these different aspects of their life and the essence of these characters so well in just such a short amount of time that you really grow connected to these characters. You feel for them and you feel for their love story, because again, the way Jhumpa Lahiri writes emotions is just so engaging, and you cannot help but feel invested in these characters, even if you spend just a very short amount of time with them. It is just really beautiful to read. So yeah, those are the three stories that I would recommend.
And my third most favorite story from this collection is The Blessed House. The Blessed House is a story about a couple, Twinkle and Sanjeev. It starts off as a long-distance relationship, and it's not exactly an arranged marriage, but they are somehow set up by their family and friends, and then after 4 months of knowing each other, they get married. And this story, The Blessed House, is about their apartment. How in the initial days of their living in that apartment, Twinkle goes around finding certain Christian artifacts scattered all about the house. And while Sanjeev is strictly against these things, Sanjeev wants Twinkle to sweep them out of the house and just throw away whatever artifacts she ever finds in the house. What Twinkle wants is to keep those artifacts in the house itself, and she displays them all beautifully on the mantelpiece. And that is something that Sanjeev cannot take, because he constantly thinks of what the neighbors are going to think of us. We are not Christian, so if we keep collecting Christian artifacts and keep displaying it all over our house, what are the neighbors going to think of us? This story is basically about the conflicts in their relationships, the differences in their relationships. What started as a long distance relationship and impulsively culminated in their marriage, after marriage they actually find themselves falling apart due to their differences. Twinkle is very sprightly, very active, very creative, confused and curious at the same time, and that is something Sanjeev cannot tolerate. It drives him nuts. This story is basically about how they eventually manage to accept and embrace each other's differences, and that is the note on which this story ends. Jhumpa Lahiri's stories do not exactly have a happy ending or a peaceful resolution of the plot. No, that's not the point of her stories. Real life is not a well-structured plot. Real life is messy. Real life is incomplete. Real life is full of unanswered questions, and that is precisely what you're going to find in all of these stories under Interpreter of Maladies, and that is why I love this book so much. It keeps me grounded to reality. Whenever I feel like I am being led astray by my imagination, I'm being led astray by the fantasy novels that I keep reading from time to time, I go back to Interpreter of Maladies and I go through a few of these stories, and they immediately bring me back to reality. I would like to give this book a 6 out of 5 or maybe a 10 out of 5 because I thoroughly loved all the stories in this one particular collection. In fact, this is the one short story collection which I have read from the first page to the last. I absolutely loved this book, especially the story, The Treatment of Bibi Haldar. It's a phenomenal story, and I can make a whole other video solely on that story. The story is so full of nuances, and there are so many layers in that story that I don't think including the story in this video video, and just talking a minute about that story is going to do justice to that story. So please read this book. There are several other stories which I could have talked about, but I don't have the time to talk about. Some of them are When Mr. Pirzada Came to Dine, Sexy, and Mrs. Sen. They are fantastic stories. Please do go through this book. You're going to thoroughly enjoy it. The language is extremely lucid, extremely descriptive. It's not ornate, it's not flowery, but it's full of everyday references, you know. Jhumpa Lahiri book is the one book you must read if you want to improve your vocabulary, because she has a way of naming each and everything around us, each and every object around us. You know, there are so many things, so many objects around me, everyday objects, and I did not even know what those objects were called in English. And Jhumpa Lahiri, she has it all here. Objects play a very important character in her stories, in her novels. Just like human beings, objects might be treated as subsidiary characters, but they are always present around us. They are enveloping our own existence, and they are somehow shaping our lives. We might not be aware of them, but the invisible but powerful presence of objects is something I think that makes Jhumpa Lahiri's stories so unique and so different from all the other story writers I've ever read. So I would highly recommend this book any day. Please go and get it. I'll leave the link to the purchase of this book in the description box below. Just click on this link and make your purchase and enjoy reading this book.
Overall, I would give this book 4 out of 5 stars. So the 3 stories that I mentioned were very engaging and I absolutely loved them, whereas the other ones in this book fall a little bit flat. But on the whole, this is a very emotional, magical, and beautiful reading experience. So I highly recommend this book. The language, like I said, can get descriptive, but it's super easy and simple to read. And the stories and the characters are very relatable. So I highly recommend this book.
So that's it for this video. See you once again in the next video. Before I sign off, do check out Shruti's channel. The link to her channel is given in the description box below. And if you've liked this video, do give it a big thumbs up. Share my video with your friends and family if you think they are going to like it. And definitely do subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it already. And definitely do press the notification bell. It just takes 1 second. Like literally 1 second. Do press the notification bell so that you do not miss out on any of my latest uploads. Hope you're keeping well, hope you're safe and fine. See you soon. Bye.